Okay, so now let's continue on. Where you have this book here, No Excuses.
My colleague, Dr. Jack Washington, is a history teacher at the Trenton Central High School, but he's a scholar. Dr. Jack has spent about 35 years as a history teacher at the Trenton Central High School. He's interacted with Dr. Cornel West and many others. Actually, Dr. Cornel West and he are members of the same fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. This is his fourth rendering of a book that he's put forward to our people. And the name of this book is No Excuses, The Crisis in Urban Education in the New Millennium. And it's just really a profound book at looking at some of the challenges with regards to urban education. I would recommend this book to your viewing audience. Dr. Cornel West says that the following: Jack Washington is the definitive historian of Black Trenton. His earlier volumes are superb. This book is vintage Jack Washington. Don't miss it. Eddie Glaw gave him a blurb. I was able to give him a blurb as well. The reason why I'm sharing this book is because I really am passionate about education. I fundamentally understand the 400-year oppression and marginalization that we've experienced, not being afforded an opportunity to read or write, which was institutional racism. Not just racism, but instituted by the state, that we were not afforded an opportunity to read or write. The emergence of the historical Black colleges and university, this whole aspect of if you're smart, you're acting white, or the dumbing down culture and the acting white syndrome. We come from a people, as you know, Sonia, who were the inventors of math and science. So we're a brilliant people. Well before we get the great mind of W.E.B. Du Bois, we had great minds, and we even in our culture today have great minds. And so I'm passionate about education. It doesn't have to necessarily be everyone going to college, because I wouldn't want to minimize individuals who have an entrepreneurial spirit. You and I are speaking right now. If I had a flood in my basement, I have to call a plumber. He's going to charge me $35 an hour. So we have individuals who are just multi-talented. Back to the wonderful work that you're doing. We also don't want to stunt the growth of individuals who want to go into hip hop, because there's many-fold aspects. It's not just the rapping, it's the music side, it's the production side, it's the video side, it's the writing of songs and things of that nature. I've been told, I don't know how true it is, that Puff Daddy doesn't write all his stuff.
It's true.
So you have some ghost writers. So I think that Dr. Jack Washington's book says it all, that the crisis in urban education and the new millennium is upon us. And when he says no excuses, the powers that be are not going to look for any excuses, even though racism, underfunding and things of that nature, exists. We have an achievement gap, but I'm more concerned with the love gap, in addition to the achievement gap. And I think that the work that you're doing, with the hip-hop literary fuse is really going to just take off. And I mean that sincerely, because it's first and foremost getting young people reading and writing. You know what I'm saying? And it's also looking at, an art form that they're into. For us to come and say, well, we want you to look at Eyes on the Prize. No, young people aren't looking at that. And I've come to realize too, Sonia, as I get older, is that even with young Black and Latino males, you might not even be able to show them South Central, Boys in the Hood, which are hip hop films in a sense, from that hip hop generation, because they're far removed from that. So that's why The Wire becomes culturally relevant, and then also for me to talk about KRS-One or Nas, or for me to talk about, Eric B. and Rakim, or to talk about Public Enemy. John Wayne was a hero to most, but he never meant shit. Sucker was straight out racist and plain. Mother F him and John Wayne. They might not even know who Public Enemy is. So I guess I have to also humble myself and get to learn the Wise Khalifs and the Waka Flocka and the Flo Rida and all them. But I want them to have something redeeming and uplifting and edifying to say in their music. Because when I'm listening to hip hop now, the mainstream, I'm not hearing that, which is okay, because I went out and just brought the most recent album of We Are Renegades, War, with Pharoah Monch. And that album is amazing.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, he is a monster, So, I thank you again for this public space, just to, share some of the work of Black Men at Penn, some of my ideologies, and some of my contextual framework.
Oh, I appreciate your time, because your thoughts, your mind is just so needed. Your voice is needed.
Thank you.
And I'm so thankful that you're actually active. You're not sitting in the ivory tower, especially being at UPenn, a prestigious university. You can basically just be sitting in a circle.
Thank you.
And just talking to one another.
Thank you so much. And I think in ending, that's one of the things that's really essential, is for us to utilize these universities and their philanthropy to help our people. And I think more importantly is that the universities, Temple, University of Penn, LaSalle, all of them are guests in these communities, and they have to stop being the bully on the block, right? And if they continue to be that, I'm gonna be the Broad Street bully.
And right on, right out there on Broad Street, we're gonna make some noise. Thank you for your time. I want to know, where can people get this book at?
People can get this book on Amazon.com. You can check that out. Also, if you want to get your young people mentored, we have a mentoring program with Black Men at Penn. We mentor youth whose parents are incarcerated either in the state or federal prison. So you can look us up at www.blackmenatpenn.org. I have my own website, which is www.chaddionlassiter.org, and feel free to reach out to us. We do counseling, we do therapy, we do anti-racism training, and once again, violence prevention intervention.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.